name's Jan Patience and I'm a journalist and I also do PR and communications. So I knew Alec Galloway, who is the lead artist in Absent Voices, and he asked me if I'd get involved in helping to promote what they were doing. So I thought it was a fantastic project because I'd never really heard about the whole business of the sugar industry in Greenock. I mean, I come from Ayrshire, it's not that far away, but it sounded fascinating, and he'd gathered together an amazing group of artists, 8 artists and musicians. So it's a good project I've been involved with, and I've been involved with it from the start for a year now, since the project sort of formally started. So yeah, it's great. The exhibition opens Saturday the 22nd of November and it runs until December the 20th in the Maclean Museum and Art Gallery, and it's completely free. And the soundtrack will be unveiled also, so that's quite exciting. It's called Out of the Strong Came Forth Sweetness, which is, anyone who remembers the little syrup tins, the Lyle syrup tins, you'll see the lion and the bees, and that's the logo. So that's the name of it, which is, I like it actually.
There's a lot of association with Greenock, with shipbuilding, and I had always felt that sugar was kind of underrepresented, especially artistically, that there wasn't really any public art pieces or anything that talked about the sugar industry. So that was really the kind of starting point. It was out of frustration, I suppose, that there was nothing that really mentioned sugar, because I'm from a sugar family. My grandparents and parents and all that were all part of the sort of sugar industry in Greenock, so I thought it was definitely worthwhile doing. Well, the group was really kind of put together, first of all, out of the idea that I wanted to have different art forms. You know, I didn't want it all just to be visual artists or all musicians or whatever. I wanted a kind of mix of people. So when I thought about people's work, I kind of tried to think about people whose work that I enjoyed and that I knew, and that kind of ended up being some people that I knew, but also others that I'd kind of hadn't long known really. So it was a lot of it was really kind of, I wanted to kind of be kind of slightly risky about it, and the fact that there was a kind of unknown element to it, that we didn't know how it was going to work, especially as a group. When you've got 8 people working, there's a lot of dynamics between people, so it was a mixture of people that I kind of knew very, very well and some that I just had sort of knew in kind of recent years.
Funding was all the work of Alec being a pest, chapping on the door of the local council on Riverside Inverclyde's door, through repeated applications to the Heritage Lottery Fund. It took him quite a bit of time, and basically it was all his effort. He was the one-man show on trying to establish funding. So through a lot of paperwork and a lot of perseverance on Alec's part, we managed to get some money. The Absent Voices project required at the initial output a lot of research, because like I think most people, there was a certain amount of complacency, especially in my part, with regards to the slave trades and Scotland. So through research we discovered why there wasn't slaves in Scotland as the way they were opposed to elsewhere in the world. But you also get completely caught up in the sugar story. Sugar was first discovered over 5,000 years ago, and it traversed the world until it got to the Barbados types islands, Cuba, Barbados, that sort of place, where it grew really well, and then was shipped back to Europe, where it was refined into the sugar that you use in your tea and your cakes. So this painting basically tells the simple story of sugar being grown over the centuries and through a time kind of lapse, as you see with the change in architecture, right up to the very top one, which is Notre Dame School in Greenock. And it's just sugar being grown, being transported, being refined, and then being sold at the end. And lots of other wee bits about the story about how sugar related to the areas and stuff that it's in.